Hello, everyone, and welcome to our webinar on how Birdie can help you ensure accurate payroll and invoicing. My name is Jasmine, and I am part of the marketing team here at Birdie. I'll kick it off with our agenda for today. So we'll start with introductions, and then we'll dive into how Birdie Finance benefits your service. We'll show you a live demo so you can see exactly how it works in practice. You'll also hear from one of our partner care providers about their real-world experience. We'll finish with key takeaways and a Q&A. And just as a heads up, the whole session will be recorded and shared with you afterwards. So just a quick housekeeping. As I mentioned, we'll be recording today's webinar session. Please do ask questions in the chat. There's a Q&A function. You don't have to keep all your questions until the end, so please drop any questions in the chat throughout the session, and we'll address them during the Q&A. And then again, we'll share a follow-up, including full recording and these slides. So it is my pleasure to introduce our speakers for today. Anjelica here is our product knowledge and insights manager here at Birdie. She's been here for over 4.5 years. If you've come across our Help Center articles in Birdie Academy, she is the one behind all those helpful resources. So she's our product expert who will be leading our demo today. We are also joined by Steve Cheetham, who has been the managing director and nominated individual for Essential Home Care in Wigan for the past 3 years. He brings over 20 years of experience in the care sector, having previously worked for several local authorities. He's a social care leader with a background in probation, specialist education, and early intervention. So we're really excited to have him here with us today. Moving on to a quick intro to Birdie. If you haven't met us before, Birdie is the technology partner that helps over 1,000 home care agencies work smarter, not just harder. So working smarter, not just harder, basically means 3 things. Number 1, get everything and everyone working together. Birdie's a system that's built as one, so it works as one. Care management, scheduling, finance, all that and more together in one system. Secondly, you can see everything and miss nothing. This is really speaking to data-backed insights. So you can see your entire care operation at a glance with 50 reports and 3 dashboards. You won't miss a single thing. Last but not least, never feel alone again. You're not going to be left to just get on with it. You've got technical support that responds in less than 10 minutes and an advisor who will speak to you every quarter. Flock is something that you can all join for free today if you haven't already. It's our community-led safe space for providers. We've got over 3,000 members, lots of great conversations and resources happening over there, so do check it out. Next, just want to explain how we help agencies do this through our 5 product domains, from care management all the way to workforce experience. Over 3 interfaces, that's including our agency hub, care, and family apps, and then our 3 promises underlying it all of true partnership, reliability, and being built as one. So let's dive right in. I want to kick things off with a poll on the next slide. So please do let us know your thoughts. There's a poll function that'll pop up. What is your biggest challenge when it comes to invoicing and payroll? The question should pop up both on the slide and in the chat box. But the options are ensuring carers are paid accurately and on time. Is it managing cash flow, getting invoiced quickly? Is it perhaps hours spent reconciling visits with what actually happened, dealing with last minute changes or expenses, or all of the above? So let's see some of the answers. We see some of them coming in. Seeing a lot of hours spent reconciling visits with what actually happened. That's great, because that's going to be a main focus for what we're chatting about today. We see all of the above, dealing with last minute changes or expenses. We're going to close the poll soon so that we can share the results with you all. Right, get your last questions in. There you go. So we're seeing, the number 1 challenge is hours spent reconciling visits. Great, that really speaks to kind of the visit confirmation area of things. And then we've got a tie for dealing with last minute changes or expenses, and all of the above. Well, thank you so much for sharing your feedback. We will take that back to our teams as well. If you go into the next slide, just want to highlight some of the key benefits of Birdie Finance. So number 1, control and flexibility for financial accuracy. So helping you validate visits before processing, with the power to adjust times, add expenses, and handle real-world scenarios, helping you guarantee accurate pay and invoicing every time. Secondly, we have a seamless flow from care delivery all the way to finance. So confirmed visits automatically flow to invoicing and payroll with instant visual feedback, no data re-entry, no guesswork. And last but not least, intelligent insights with Birdie analytics and reporting. So you can track plan versus actual times, spot trends, and run various finance reports, turning your payroll and invoicing data into actionable intelligence. But the best way to understand the impact of all this is to see it in action.
Hello. Yeah, I'm very excited to be demoing confirmed visits with you today. I normally do this stuff internally, so it's nice to have some new people to demo to. So I'm going to jump right in. So, paying your carers late or incorrectly can obviously lead them to feel very undervalued, but also add a huge kind of admin burden onto yourself because they obviously will be ringing and emailing or whatever to get this fixed. So that causes a huge risk with them when it comes to retention as well. Also, if you are quite inefficient at invoicing, it means you are waiting longer to get paid, which puts a strain on your agency's cash flow. If you miss one kind of invoice cycle, you might wait a couple of weeks or months even to get that money back. And we all know that the margins are quite tight. So we want to make sure that we have that money. So the key to getting this right is having a robust, flexible, but also very simple system in place as the foundation between your care scheduling and then also your finance. So at Birdie, we really do see that the visit confirmation process is the bridge between those two areas. And you're able to kind of have a nice flow between them, so you are actually paying for things which did happen, and then if other things occur that you need to bill for, you or also pay for, you can also take that into consideration as well. And just before I get into my demo, I just want to say a note about having things completely automated. I know that's the kind of way that we're going in life right now, automate more and more and more. But with visit confirmation, it's really important that you have an opportunity to have a pair of eyes on it. Again, you know best what actually happened. Don't leave it all the way up to the system to make these choices for you. The good thing about Birdie is that it does flag, when things might be missing, which will save you a lot of pain down the line. So I'm going to get going with my demo right now. So I'm on the confirm visits page and I'm going to start with just selecting a time frame. Again, this is quite free. You can go way back into the past, or you can do, as many or as little days as you want. Um, it kind of aligns with what your agency does. You can also get very granular and pick a care recipient or a caregiver. I'm going to leave mine blank for now, but again, you do have the options to do that. Then I'm going to filter by if the visit was completed. So that just means the carer has checked in and also checked out of the visit. You can see here, obviously, nearly like 3,000 visits not completed. It's fine because it's just demo data, but that's also a nice little flag. You could investigate that and be like, what's going on there? Then moving on to timings edited, that's just if any of these have already been edited. And then discrepancy, again, aligns with how your business works. So if you know that you will confirm visits if they're maybe under by 15 to 30 minutes, you can kind of filter this. So all of it just helps you to filter and get these visits confirmed as quickly as possible. So I've got my selected visits here. And again, this page gives us a lot of information, which is super helpful. So we can see the date that they happened, who was involved, the carer and the client, the planned time, the actual time, if there's any discrepancies. Again, these are a little bit outrageous, but you'd be looking at something a bit lower here. And then the paid and invoice time. So we've got all our info, as a quick glance. I'm happy with this, and I'm like, this is great. So I can go ahead and confirm that visit. And again, instead of it just manually going away, automatically going away, we kind of got like a little, um, you know, confirmation of our actions here, which is good. So it's going to tell us this is going to go to invoicing and payroll completely fine. And of course, we've had a look at the data and we're happy with it. So I can go ahead and confirm that, and away it goes, which is great. Now, if you were to select a visit and you confirm it and you see something like this might feel quite frustrating at the time, like it's maybe trying to like slow you down. But again, it's so much better to be warned earlier on in the journey rather than later. You don't want to get right to the end of just about to generate your invoice and then you're like, what is wrong? Something's not right. Um, we flag it straight away. Um, and a good thing is here is the information is already on the page as to what is happening. And there's only a couple of reasons why you would get this message. There's not going to be loads and loads of reasons. So we can see here we have a problem with something to do with invoicing. So, the payroll is completely fine. It's the invoicing. And this little feature here, the edit timings modal, pretty much tells us all the information that we need to know. So if we have a look here, we can see that we have no funding set. So we've got funding set up, we just haven't applied it to this visit schedule. And that is something that you would do when you're kind of planning the visits. So again, it's a nice indicator that we have a flow and there's just maybe a little bit of like a kink in the flow that we need to like smooth out. So that's fine. We can save that funding information. And then I will also add the timings. I'm just going to add whatever today just so that I can successfully save this. And then we can see that all the information is now added. So if we were then going to confirm it, it's perfect to go to both. So I can again go ahead and confirm that. So this modal is again really excellent for even if you have all the information here, but you know that perhaps the visit was extended by maybe like an hour and a half or something like that. Maybe the carer had to stay in a little bit longer. You can also save that here and it will be added as well. So really, really helpful. And again, you can bulk confirm these as well. If I do that, nice and easy, they all go away. Something else I wanted to show you on this page, which is a really nice feature that you can do, is also recording some expenses. So you can also do this further down the line, but if you know that an expense happened on a specific visit, you can always add it early as well. And again, it flows nicely through so that you don't have to add it again. So here we can say groceries, here, maybe like, there we go. Cool. And we can submit that there. I am going to get an error because we need to do some work here, but that's fine. But once you have confirmed everything on this page, it will flow through to payroll and also invoices, which I'll show you now. So if we go to our generate invoices, the page is empty now, but this is what it will look like. This is helpful if you the cycle selector, if you invoice by cycles. So again, you might have a monthly or a weekly or every 2 weekly kind of cycle here, which aligns maybe with a specific local authority or whoever you might be paying. So that's a really good way to get your invoices in quickly and consistently as well. For this example, I am just going to use the period selector because I'm just going to align it with exactly what I did on the other tab. So I've got my visits here. And I will select my contracts as well. Again, you can select as many as you want. You can also do it by care recipient as well. Again, you can just get as granular as you like with this. And here we have our kind of quick view boxes here to just give you an overview. Again, if you kind of know consistently the kind of charges that you're expecting, this is good just to, if it flags something that's not quite right. So again, we have this very similar kind of setup as we did on the confirm visits page, where we have the care recipient, the carer, the date, the charge time, and information like that. So it's a kind of familiar view at this point. And again, this gives us another opportunity just to have a look to see if everything is looking okay. This one, we'd probably want to have a little look at it. It's charging zero across the board, but again, it's fine. It's just test data, but you get the idea of it is very good to see early on what's happening where. So if we're happy with these, again, we can generate our invoices. If we do see something that we don't think is quite right, we always have the option to restore back to confirmation. So you can do that individually, and you can also do it in bulk. So again, you don't have to worry about like deleting things and then like having to like find them and regenerate them. It just sends them back. Again, you can use that edit timings modal, make a few changes, and then send it back. It all takes, just a couple of minutes, nothing too long or tedious. So if we are happy with this, we can go ahead and generate our invoices. I'm just going to give that a couple of minutes, and then we can see we have our invoices here. And if we were to click into them, you can see again line by line where they are, and then if there's any extra charges, that would be flowed over from where you added them on the confirm visits page, and then also any deductions. So that's ready to export and get going. So again, such a quick and easy process. We also do have a feature of tagged, so if a visit was to be cancelled but you still want to charge or pay for it, you can do that. So all of this super quick, super easy. And also, all of this data feeds into Birdie Analytics. So you can run reports like our electronic call monitoring for billing and payroll, which gives you a clear overview of planned versus actual times, helping you to spot trends and also manage your operations more effectively. So, as you can see, the visit confirmation feature is designed to be simple but powerful and should really help in your day-to-day operations. But most importantly, it always prioritizes giving you flexibility and control to handle the day-to-day realities of care.
Thank you so much, Ange, for walking us through that demo and for showing how everything comes full circle from visit confirmation through to payment, invoicing, and the strategic insights. So now I'm going to pass it over to Steve so we can hear about his experience at Essential Homecare.
Hello, everyone. Nice to see you all. I don't know if you've ever used a cheap and unreliable care system. We have, and it just caused an untold amount of stress and chaos within our service, particularly with invoicing. So we needed a system that was robust, reliable, accurate, particularly for invoicing. We invoice quite often. So friends of ours had recommended Birdie, and we had the demo, and eventually we signed up, and we quickly realised how effective a system it was, particularly at invoicing. So we found it was very, very user-friendly. Once you've got your rates set up with your different contracts, very, very simple to use. Visits could be cancelled quite easily when, visits get cancelled all the time. And sometimes we can charge, sometimes we don't charge, depending on how much notice we're given. We tend to confirm visits, like you were shown then, every day, because that seems to make the actual invoicing very, very quick to do then. It's straightforward. I'd always recommend confirming visits every day. The system is easily able to switch between many different contracts. So we have lots. We have private and different local authorities, a lot of direct payments. So once that's set up, it's very, very simple and powerful to use. So for example, we have local authority with Wigan, and they want invoicing done every Monday, a week at a time. And I do it on a Monday morning, and the whole process takes less than 30 minutes. Different customers want different things. So we have two direct payment customers that want billing after every month, at just one full month at a time. And that is a 60-second job for us now. But our main invoicing day happens to land on today. And what used to take a full day with our previous system now takes less than an hour and a half. It's already done this morning. Before I even got into the office by one of the other managers. It's fantastic. And we've just found that the results are 100% accurate. And I think that's due to us confirming visits every day, keeping on top of that. It's really good practice. Some customers want paper copies, so we can download that as a PDF, print it off and post it through. But some of the features, it also calculates mileage as well. As a practitioner many, many years ago for a local authority, I used to have to write down my mileage from my dashboard. And there's none of that now, because with GPS, and it's able to track staff members' mileage when they're out on shift. Gets a little bit more complex sometimes when we have a lot of double-handed runs. So when we've got two drivers together, we've just got to work out some sums come payroll day, but we've got that down now. It's an easy calculation to do, but Birdie allows that. It displays those miles for you, and you can deduct them as you go. But it's really useful when customers pay extra for activities that are not funded by the local authority. So that comes under a different contract, and it's a click of a button to be able to charge for that. We can make additional charges or even deductions for purchases that we've made or a customer's made, and include that in the invoice. If visits go over the scheduled time, we can, when you're confirming visits, as you were just shown earlier, it's a very easy, simple thing to do. And I think overall, one of the things that we like as well, is instead of, I used to have to download invoices and then email them from my email account. Well, with Birdie, it sends them straight out of the system, but Birdie itself, which is just far more efficient and professional. I think overall Birdie feels very obviously like a modern premium system. I still do staff inductions when I'm introducing Birdie, the app, to staff. I always compare our old care system as a 20-year-old Ford Fiesta, and Birdie as a brand new Rolls Royce straight out of the showroom. But for us, it's an overall rating of 10 out of 10. Especially for usability and reliability. We're strong advocates of Birdie here due to its simplicity, its accuracy, and its flexibility. So I would recommend always confirming visits every day. It just makes the daily task, everything that happens on a daily basis, that it's fresh, it's straight on the system. It just makes invoicing day 100 times easier and faster. We like simple systems here. It does everything we want it to do. And especially for us as a fast-growing organisation, it's definitely allowed us to grow, which we're very, very grateful for. So thank you so much, Birdie. It is, I agree with what you say there in that last talk. It's a very simple and powerful system. Has anyone got any questions?
Thank you so much, Steve. I think we'll save questions for the very end, which we're almost there. Thank you so much again for sharing your just real world impacts. It's really powerful to hear. So just to quickly recap, Birdie gives you one single platform that connects your care process from end to end, from providing you control and flexibility for accurate finance to seamless flow of information between products and intelligent analytics with Birdie analytics reports that provide actionable insights. So moving on to our Q&A, just a quick note for our current Birdie partners on the call, we'll be sending just a couple of more resources in the follow-up email, such as our fortnightly finance webinars. We've got 2 of those. We also, back in September, had another How Birdie Helps with Finance, helps you master your finances webinar. So we'll send you a link to that as well. But in the meantime, Ange, Steve, and Clem here from our customer success team, they are here to answer any questions you might have. So let's take a look at our Q&A chat. You might have seen that we were kind of answering some of your questions during the demo as well. So we've already answered some of them. Let's see, in Q&A, I'm going to go down to see, where is the app submission of expenses on the product roadmap, please? I think we've just been seeing a lot of questions here about submitting expenses through the app. So maybe if one person could just help answer a few of those, that would be really helpful. Just about kind of the process of how we go about submitting expenses through the app.
Yeah, so from my experience, the current process that you can follow is actually upload a photo of your expense to the care log of a visit that you're currently recording as a carer. And then if you want to draw attention to that submission, so that it's absolutely picked up by the admin team reviewing care logs, you can also choose to use the concern workflow in the app, which will then trigger an alert for admins to review. So it won't be an actual concern, but it will send an alert to the admin team to review the care log. And if you've uploaded a photo of your expense, or if you've just laid out the expense that you recorded during the call, they'll be able to monitor the input there. Yeah, so that's one way that you can handle it within the Birdie app at the minute.
Great. Thank you so much, Clem, for that answer. We've also got some questions here about multiple invoices. So once multiple invoices have been generated, is there a way we can bulk print the PDFs?
I can take that as well. So you can actually export multiple invoices as a PDF directly from the agency hub. I'm not in control over printer settings, which is obviously a separate piece of hardware, but my assumption would be that you're then able to do something like a multiple drag and drop of files to print out. But I'm not a printing expert, but you definitely can export multiple invoices as PDFs at once.
Great. Thank you so much. I think that kind of also helps answer another printing multiple invoices question. Is there a way of updating travel or mileage once pay runs have been generated without restoring the visits? Not sure if maybe Ange or Clem again might want to take that one.
Because pay run has been generated, the data can't be changed sort of to something that's already existing, right? You'd have to rerun payroll for that data to be updated. In terms of restoring the visits, again, you'd have to do that because essentially what's happening is we've confirmed the visits in a specific way. And so if you want the data to change, we need to go through that process again. But the idea again is you can you can bulk action that process, right? So hopefully just a few clicks.
Great. And a quick one here. Can you reconcile invoices once they have been paid?
What do we mean by that? Sorry.
Can you reconcile invoices once they have been paid? This question came from Mark. I don't know, Mark, perhaps you want to put into the chat just clarification there while we answer another question at the same time. Can you regenerate invoice and keep the same invoice number? So not generating completely new invoices. So separate question around invoice numbers.
Sorry, I missed that one because I was actually still thinking about the
Oh,
previous
sorry.
question.
The
I
other
think I
one.
understand now what we were saying about reconciling
Okay.
invoices.
Yes. Feel free to do both.
I'm guessing we're referring to marking invoices as paid on the system once we've received payment, potentially, which is something that we're considering but haven't yet implemented. Typically, this is something that we would expect to be done within your accounting software.
Great. Thank you so much for taking that one, Clem. Also, everyone, I'm aware that we are at 10:32. We can stay for just a few more minutes to try to help answer some of these. If not, we'll send follow-up afterwards. So we're going to try to take as many as we can. So going back to can you regenerate invoice and keep the same invoice number? Yeah, Clem, if you want to take that one.
Yeah, the answer is no. You can make changes to the prefix invoice number yourself manually. But yeah, again, this is a separate event, right? So it's going to come with a separate ID/invoice number. I'd be interested in understanding, what the problem, sort of what feels like a problem with that. Because yeah, I guess ultimately, you've got different numbers and invoices that you submit that you don't submit. So I wouldn't expect it to be an issue, but yeah, this is why it's not currently that way.
A quick one. Can Birdie calculate discounts for invoices over £1,000?
We do, as Ange walked us through, we can reduce invoices, add deductions to invoices, but we don't currently calculate discounts.
Mm-hmm. Great. Did just want to kind of wrap up the Q&A, and right before you hop off, if you could let us know in the feedback poll how useful was today's content. This will help us very much in preparing for the next webinar. So if you go into the poll function, this should be available for you to vote on. And in the meantime, while you're voting for that, you can find out more about us at birdie.care and flock.care. If you have any questions, please feel free to book a demo or reach out to your customer success manager to learn more about Birdie Finance and more. Again, we'll be sending out a follow-up email with the recording once uploaded. Hope you found this very engaging, and keep an eye out for our follow-up email. We'll have all those resources listed there as well. So thank you, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye now.